Hey, this is Z with Small Scale Development, and today is March 14th, 2023. And today I am going to be talking about the MLK Townhouse project. Last time we talked, we had the site plan, which we realized it was going to be a problem because we have this driveway here, and we've got a sewer and the sewer intake, or sorry, the stormwater and stormwater intake right here. And in order to get this driveway here, we would have to move this up here, which may be feasible, and maybe the numbers might say make sense with regard to cost. It'd be worth it to get these units, but the time and kind of mental hassle of going through the process of going through the engineering that would need to be done to do that, and the time and money just kind of didn't really make sense to me. So I started thinking about what were our alternatives. And so what I started thinking about was, well, what if we instead came in right here where there already is an existing driveway. We don't have to worry about the stormwater. And then we came in here and used this driveway and parked under the building. So we didn't need to use up all that. We could use this space right here as a driveway, and then the first floor as parking. So I'm going to show you what our original plan was for the unit. So originally we had on the first floor we had an office or flex. We had two options. One was more of an open studio, and one was more of with an office slash bedroom. And then upstairs we had kitchen, living room, and then another bedroom. So I thought, well, what if we were to come in here and we were to park a car on the first floor? And so we would lose this space, but we could still probably keep an office here and then walk upstairs. And then we would still have a one bedroom up here with a nice living room kitchen. So I'm going to show you what that looked like. So I drew this out. I sketched this out. Just these aren't necessarily accurate numbers. I just took I think it was in Word document, and just drew in these boxes here. So we we moved the driveway right here, and then we put, instead of having, I think we had 4 2-car garage apartments, we can just do 6 1-car garage on the backside and 6 on the front. And these are the openings for the car to go in, and this is the driveway, and then we'll need some sort of pervious pavement here. And then let's see. So I'm going to just go over to the plans as we modified them a little bit. So here you can see we kept the third floor the same, the second floor the same. You may not necessarily be able to tell that just by remembering, but anyway, third floor bedroom same, first floor, second floor kitchen and living room the same. But then we added the car here with a little office and stairs going up. And so that is what we thought could work. Now here's kind of what the front could look like. I said that I wasn't really a fan of changing the materials here on the front from siding to brick to siding brick. I don't mind. I think they should all be the same going across. Now we could have, say brick all the way across, and I like it when we put siding on the dormer, for example. But anyway, so that's a detail we can work through later. But I just wanted to show you what we came up with in terms of a revised plan from our original. This is what our original was, and that was just a way that we could minimize the amount of design time that we would take. I'd like to get this project up and running soon, and so what's a way we can do that? Well, converting this to a 1-car garage. So let's see, what are some of the hurdles here? Well, for one, we only have 1 bedroom, so 1 car makes sense. Now, is the market ready for a 1 bedroom? Well, we've done this a number of times and it seems like it's something it's desired. There's just not a lot of one bedrooms out there. So I think it's both from a rental standpoint as well as a for sale standpoint. I think that it's a switch back over here. I think there's a market for that. Our heated and cooled square footage will decrease by, let's say this is 18 by 20, so 360. So it may decrease by 360. I think we came up with, it was maybe like 850 square feet total. So sort of a modest size. And also a lot of the stuff we have done before actually have not had garages, but garages are definitely, there's some value in them. So I think that even if you could store bikes in here, you have one car, you could even not have a car and just have a nice big gym if you liked riding everywhere, your bike. We're fairly close to downtown and a greenway, a bike greenway. So that could be possible if you just had Uber for necessities. And let's see, I'll come back over here. One other thing, so after meeting with the architect, we looked at a couple different concepts actually. So if we're going to change the plan, do we want to maybe, instead of doing 18-foot wide, do we want to do 16 or maybe 14 feet? So if we did 14-foot wide units, we could go from 6 across to, I think, 7. Maybe we could have done 8. I can't remember offhand. But let's just say we got an extra unit on this backside and an extra unit on the front side. Well, that seemed like it could be worth it. However, when you have a 14-foot unit and you're trying to park in there, it really limits the space, and there would probably be not enough room for an office in the front. And I think, to me, it was important to have some sort of office living space on the first floor, because you're right at the street level, and I think just having a little more interaction with the street is important, just for walkability and future use. Someone could have an office, have a little office that you could have a client come in and consulting office or whatever. It could be a home office, and it fronts the street, and so it just gives a little more friendliness to the neighborhood. So that was important. So if we got down to 14 feet, we probably would have had to put the stairs there because we wouldn't have enough room on the side. If we'd gone to 16 feet, it seemed like we would have to rearrange everything, and we might not get an extra unit, and so might not really be worth it. The other thing that we wanted to consider too is that we have currently, our zoning allows for 18-foot wide lots. So these are 18-foot wide. What I liked about the 18-foot wide units is before, if you're parking behind them, you can fit 2 cars. So it kind of fits nicely. We've got 2 cars behind here, and you can do a legal lot split. Here, we're only having 1 car and a 1 bedroom. If we were to go to 16 feet, we would then have to go to the city and see about changing the rules for zoning. And I talked with the planning director, and he seemed okay with the concept of, he said the 18-foot wide lots were somewhat arbitrary, and that he would be okay supporting potentially be okay supporting a 16 or 14-foot wide lots in this zoning for townhouses. We would still need to go to the planning commission and ultimately get it approved by the city council. That would take some time, but I also thought that it might be worth it for future, because I just think that 18-foot wide townhouse lots are somewhat arbitrary, and 16 and 14 actually can make things a little bit smaller, get more units in there that are smaller, and so you get more more people able to have a smaller unit, which would lead to something that's a little bit more affordable. And I think there's a market for that. But ultimately, we decided on this project we would just leave it at 18, and that would be kind of the simplest thing to do. One other thing I want to mention that the architect wanted to do was, so we'll have the this is the driveway for the car, and then we'll reverse it for this one, and then there will be a little door. So if you think this is the main street right here, and you come in, drive here. Now, if you reversed it, this on the back units will be the back of the property. And so there will be a door here, and we can have a little yard back here. So I'm going to come back over here. And so each one of these can have a little fence and have a little yard with a back door here that goes to the office and upstairs. What the architect wanted to do was to have a walkway along here so that people could have guests. They could park on the street, have guests come in this way and not necessarily have to come in through the garage door. And then you could have your fences here, your little yard, but you could have a little bit of some interaction with backyards here. So that is what we came up with. I'm now in the process of getting the site plan redesigned, and also have the architect is working on getting the final designs for this. One other thing I'm seeing here that would worth noticing is that we have an 18-foot wide driveway. I was going to make these 24 feet wide apart, but she said we really needed probably something more than that. So she was recommending 18-foot wide with 6-foot wide approach on each side. And I think that's 30 feet. So I forget what she thought was kind of the minimum. Maybe it was 20, 28. But the other thing what this helps is we have a little bit of a slope right here. It's sort of flat from here to here, but we do have a slope from the street up to here. And so even if there's a little bit of a slope, we can have this driveway fairly level, have the buildings all level, but then this one will be kind of a flat entrance. These may be a flat entrance to the garage, but these ones actually can be sloped upwards into the garage because this area is lower than here. So that way we can keep the buildings all at the same finished floor elevation, but the driveways can be a little bit steeper as they need to be. And let's see, I think the other thing that architect wanted to do was add more space back here for a yard, and then also push the buildings up as close as possible to the street as they're street facing. The one thing that will limit us to some extent is utilities. So we'll have to run the water, sewer here, and then we'll probably also have to give some sort of easement to this electric company to run the electric across and then go to each unit. And I'm actually not sure, as I think about this, how we will put in the meter boxes for the electric, because we could do one on the side here. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we can run them in the back and put them over here. I'm not sure yet how that'll work, but something that the architect will help us sort out. Finally, I wanted to just put this in sort of a larger concept. So here's our property right here with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And we've got the driveway right here. And if we were to run the driveway, well, we have this property right here as well. There's a house on it. We also have this property right here. There's a house on it. We built the 2 houses here a number of years ago, and we built some townhouses here a couple of years ago, and those we no longer own. We still own this property here. So I was just trying to think about conceptually what ultimately we might do for the whole project. And this is just a sketch I did just so I could kind of get a feel for it. But if we were to run the driveway all the way across here, and then we could have this other driveway coming out to the street. Now we've got, this driveway. It's fairly far from the corner. It's only one access point going out onto a busy road for a fair number of units. And so we could do something similar as we did with the townhouses here. We could continue that over here on front and back. We might do a different design. We probably would have facades look different. We probably will learn something different that we'd want to do with regard to design, but we could have sort of a similar concept. And then we have this gravel driveway here, and maybe we could do several tuck under units here. I call it tuck under units, meaning the parking is tucked under the main unit. And then we could have sort of a back green space back here that these units all share as a sort of common area. And then this driveway also could serve as the driveway for parking for units here. These three facing the street. These three facing green space here, and then maybe 4 or 5. I'm not sure what fits over here. I actually have another architect working on a site design for this property. This property is there's a house there, but it's in pretty rough shape, and so it's going to be kind of a coming soon. This house is in decent shape, and we have a tenant in there, so this is a long term down the road. But I just kind of wanted to get a feel for at some point, if we were to develop it out, what it could look like. Again, I have no idea that this is what the plan will be, but just kind of thinking about what it could look like, and just to get my brain thinking about it. So that's what we have for today, and hope you'll come back and watch more videos. And thanks for watching.